Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Uncle Tuck here with another rant. And this one is about time. And if you know me, I hate for my time to be wasted. It's the worst thing to have your time wasted. And I would have to say that I'm guilty of being one with next to no patience when it comes to having my time wasted. Like, for instance, if I make plans and you agree to those plans, I need you to follow through. I don't need a whole bunch of excuses because you know the thing about excuses, the only person that believes the excuse is usually the one that's giving it. And I just value my time. You just can't get that back. And I've been known to cut people the fuck off who waste my time. I hated it when I was a photographer and setting up studio sessions and motherfuckers is no show or they come late. I used to even have this thing where I would do the studio time and say, like, say we're going to start shooting at 11 o'clock. I'll fuck around and tell certain people 9:30 because they won't get there till almost 11 o'clock, especially those that want to go and never want to utilize the hair and makeup that you have on set. They always have a homegirl or a homeboy or somebody that want to do their hair and makeup, and then they're late, which in turns makes them late to our session, which fucks up everything. And I like to run on a time schedule. I'm very big on that. My whole mood can change like that if my time is wasted. We can be having plans for something and you can run late unless it's like a medical emergency or, you know, some really, really serious, then I can give it a pass. But if it's just you didn't think to get up or get yourself ready in time, or you thought you would have enough time, or you were doing God knows what, and it just caused you to be late for what I had set up, that shit pisses me off, and I will cut you the fuck off. I have to say it, and I'm not proud, but I've lost friends and relationships based on me feeling somebody wasted my time. Granted, sometimes I look back and I'm like, okay, I could have been a little bit more lenient, but when it comes to time, I just don't fuck around. You got to come correct with me. You know what I mean? It's like, because I always try my very best to be on time for everything. And if I happen to run late, I'm constantly hitting you up, letting you know where I am. And I'm not one of those people that be like, oh, I'm coming down the street, but I ain't left the fucking house yet. You know those people. The ones that be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to turn on your block now. But they ain't even in the car. They're nowhere near you. There has been some distance created between me and somebody recently because I felt that they were wasting my time, where I actually misunderstood their availability. So, you know, my attitude didn't work in my favor on that. And sadly to say, I don't think things would be the same between me and that person, because I was really had them on the chop it block and was like, eh. So, you know, once we talked and we figured that out, you know, it's still like, damn, you know, they're upset because they like, well, damn, you was ready to, you know, throw the friendship and everything out the window, and it was just a misunderstanding. We got our wires crossed. So, you know, hopefully one day, you know, me and that friend, we can, you know, get past that. But it's hard when you lose a good friend that you got some years in with, and you know, it's rough. It's rough. But like I said, I just don't play with my time. I really don't. And I don't think anybody should. I think people need to respect people's time. Like, if you don't feel like fucking doing something, give them ample time and let them know. That's why, you know, certain people, when they come to me and they ask me about how did I do photo sessions and how do I do studio sessions, this and that, everything requires a deposit. You're going to waste my time, I'm keeping that money. And usually when there's money on the line, people act the fuck right. They show up. Usually when there's no money on the line, that's when Motherfuckers just do what they want to do. Another thing that I hate about my time being wasted is that if I make plans and because something changed on the other end, my plans got to get altered. Like me and my lady had reservations for this local restaurant because one of the bands we like were playing. So about 4 or 5 weeks before the show, I went onto the site and was able to reserve a table close to the band because most of the other tables by the band were taken, but we had a nice little spot because the website showed me I can select this area. So the reservations was for like 8:15. I think the band was starting at like 9. So we get out there at 8:15. It's a fucking line. Cause like I said, the band is real good and it was a nice night. People just wanted to get out the house. You know, pandemic had us all locked down and stuff. So we get there and luckily enough they had another line for reservations. So we go to the line for reservations and the girl's like, "Oh, your table's not ready yet." Bitch, the reservation was at 8:15. It's 8:15. My shit should be ready. So then the anger's creeping up. I could feel it. I could feel it creeping up. Like, I could feel it. So I'm trying to keep calm because I'm always telling her, calm the fuck down. Don't let nobody take you out your element. And this one time, I did not take my own advice. So the girl says, "Let me go get the manager." So she goes and gets the manager, and I guess he lights a fire under people's ass, get them cleaning up and stuff because they said they had a big wedding reception party or rehearsal dinner or something, and they had to clean that up. Side note, why the fuck would you have a event and have the nerve to have a wedding party set up on the same night as that event? Knowing wedding parties are usually big, events are usually big. That's that shit a double booking. He was just trying to get all the money, which I can't front. You know what I mean? Pandemic's been hard and you know, you got your doors open, so you want asses in seats as long as possible. The girl comes back, says they're cleaning up the table, be ready in a couple minutes. My girl sees on my face that I'm pissed, that I'm like on the verge of being like, fuck it. So the girl comes out, mind you, real nice. So I try to straighten up my face, you know, because it's not her fault. She's just doing the job. So she walks us in. She walks us by the performance area, the performance seating, all the way to the back where you can't even see the fucking stage. So now that calmness I had, that anger's back. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So she's putting the silverware on the table. I'm like, yo, this ain't the table I reserved. So the manager was walking by, so she grabbed him, and granted, he was cool, but he was like, oh, you can't reserve seats on the website. You could just make reservations for the time slot. And I'm like, no, I could swear that it showed me a diagram and I pointed it out. He was like, no, it's no diagram. So at that point, I'm like, fuck it. I'm out. Y'all could take this shit. This the last y'all gonna see my ass, because another thing, y'all food really ain't that good. I came mostly to have a date night with my girl and we can listen to the band and maybe deal with their mediocre drinks and their non-seasoned food. But at this point, I was like, fuck it. I was pissed. And my girl, she's normally the one that gets pissed, and I'm usually the voice of reason. But when them roles is reversed, yo, sister girl be like, it's whatever this nigga want. We don't have bail money, and he's gonna turn this shit out. So, fuck it. We rolled out. I'm like, yo, the night's fucked up. So while we're in the car, we decide to try like a little hood dive bar. We go to the dive bar. It was okay, but when you have your mind on something and that shit falls through, it's kind of like you just want to wash your hands of everything and go the fuck home. So we were about to go home, and then she remembered the DJ that we are friends with that always does first Fridays or last Fridays at the cigar bar we go at, she was DJing not too far from where we were at. So we decided to go ahead, since we were already up, already dressed, we might as well hop in the car, roll out, and try to salvage the night. So we get to the spot. The spot's okay. We were lucky to get some seats at the bar. The drinks was okay, because they used those annoying pours. You know how you go to the hood bar and you put the rubber thing in the nozzle and they stop it and they pour it so to make sure it pours just the ounce. So yeah, them drinks was weak as fuck. This particular bar had a kitchen. So I said, let me go to the back and go to the kitchen. So I ordered some food and I looked at the menu that was on the wall. The menu that I chose, my order was $15. The girl comes up, takes my order, and says $15. I give her a 20, and she writes something on the receipt that she didn't give to me and walks to the back. So I'm thinking she's going to prepare the food, give me my change when she come back. Man, this chick came back and handed me my food. I said, where's my change? She said, oh, it was $20. So now we have a math problem. So I said, look, I ordered this, I ordered that, and I asked for this. All that together is $15. With PA taxes, $15 don't come to $20 with taxes. So something's wrong. So you know how when people get caught in like a lie or get caught doing some sneaky shit, they get on the defensive. Oh, I know how much this shit costs. I know how much. I work here. So I'm like, you know what? Hold on. For one, we not going to argue over $5. I just came from a situation that, if I'd have blown up, it'd have been fucked up. And I'm not going to argue with no woman twice my size and 10 or 20 years older than me, missing fucking teeth, trying to hang on to whatever youth she had back in 73. So I said, you know what? It's cool. My apologies. Use it for a tip or whatever. Just keep it. Because I can't really front because the DJ bought our first 2 rounds of drinks. So we not going to create a disturbance over $5. And apparently that bitch needed it more than I needed it. So it's whatever. And the thing that I kicked myself about was not walking away from the $5. Nigga, I had $15 cash I could have gave her. That's my fault. I should have gave that bitch the exact change. But, here I am whipping out a 20 thinking I'm going to get $5 back. Nah, that bitch kept that. So I hope she got her kids or her grandkids or her great-great-great-great-grandkids some snacks or shit with that $5 because I know it wasn't for no gas because gas is like $3.25 right about now. So that was another instance that I was like, I just wanted to you don't want to create a situation. You don't want to create type drama because sometimes it's not worth it. And it was the bar was very hood. So I knew trying to talk to a manager or something like that would have no fucking effect. None. And it seemed like it was one of them situations where even though we're in the bar, the kitchen's ran by somebody else. So she might have been her own boss. So at this point, fuck it. At least the food was good. It was good. It was good. It wasn't the best, but it was good. So, you know what? She kept that $5 for a tip. It's whatever. We had a couple more drinks, sat there. The DJ was representing. But by this time, we're both like, yo, it's been a rough night. Let's go the fuck home. So I tipped the bartender, and we rolled out, and then that was it. But, yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of having time wasted. Really. I'm not. And depending on who I'm dealing with, I will try to make, exceptions, or I'll pad the time. I'll tell them like I said, if we're supposed to meet up at 1:00, I'll tell certain people 11:30 because they move so slow, they won't get there till almost 1:00. Besides having time wasted, time. I know people say time is money, but you ain't got no money, you still got time. So to me, time is just most valuable. So that's why I don't really like to plan a lot of shit. And that's why I was definitely a solo act when it came to going out and hanging out before I settled down with my lady. And even she knows me, so she does her best to be on time. But women, you definitely got to pad that shit with them. So even when me and her make plans, I'll slide an extra hour in there or something. But for the most part, she's good with being ready and everything. So I ain't got no qualms with that. Well, I appreciate y'all checking me out and checking out the podcast. If you haven't already, definitely go to heyuncletuck.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at heyuncletuck. And if you like what you hear and you want to, slide your uncle some couple dollars for a beer, you can cash at me at Hey Uncle Tuck. You'll see my logo and everything. I'll flash it up on the screen so you can see that. Make sure you cash app in the right person. And until next time, peace everybody.